so I don't know why you're stealing your undies.
Time for a start now. This is the second last race. We've got 8 competitors in the Eliminator. And again, we lose 2 more until we're at a final of 6. As once again, the boys have chosen the ski to start off, followed by the swim and the board.
Well, both Ali Day and Kendrick Louis have won races today, and they've both chosen ski first. They obviously like that as a first up. And just for the record, I'm not in undies
anymore.
Well, I like the energy that I saw from Kai Hurst as well. As we look at Ali Day getting through the break, but Kai Hurst jumped onto that yellow ski very, very quickly, and it was a burst of energy that I haven't seen so far in the previous races.
Yeah, but Shannon Eckstein sitting in the middle there, going out to the first turn, and he is looking nice. Ali Day on his left, out to the side. He's giving himself room, but Shannon Eckstein very, very strong.
Phil, we saw Ali do this in the last race. What's happening?
Well, I don't know. If you break it down, there could be a wash from the Trevor Hendy ski. I don't know what he's trying to do, heading out there to the left. It might be just clean water when you paddle a ski. Trev, can you see it out there? Is there anything different out on the left-hand side that Ali was shooting for?
There is, mate. That rip that we were talking about earlier, it's actually running right out across the rocks and then spitting out on the left side of the bay, and then it does a circle back. So I think he's trying to go for that clean water, get away from everybody else, and then come into the front of the pack. It's worked pretty well for him.
Trevor, looks like that Sudley has really whipped it up out there. Very different conditions to when the boys started the Eliminator an hour or so ago.
Yeah, it is. It's settled down a little bit, Howie. It's probably that sort of 12 knots, 20 Ks plus. Clado asked about the chops before. They're starting to straighten up a little bit, so you do get a bit of a bump onto the waves right now, and it's going to make a bit of a difference. I'll tell you what, one thing we haven't mentioned is the swell here today. There's actually a decent-sized swell, and we're not often seeing the good-sized waves when they're on the way in, the way out. They really haven't been in time with the waves, so someone could get a good wave to make a real difference if they're in the right spot.
Trev, is a smile meter working out there? Any smiles going on? How does Kai look, seeing as though the rest of the commentary team's written him off?
I obviously picked him, so I'm not going to write him off. But I thought Kai didn't look too bad as far as attitude goes. He just looks like he's a little bit out of race condition, maybe. He doesn't look quite as trim as he did last year. But that's why I said if he goes another round, he's going to get fitter and fitter, and look out for him later in the season. The one person we haven't mentioned who's had a lot of rotten luck, he keeps paddling up to the pack and getting left behind, is Wes Berg. Yeah. He sat there the whole time and done very, very well. It's been very impressive. Good job, Wes, and his swimming technique, everything's looking really good. So he's obviously not here just to make up the numbers.
Well, boys, we talk about Kai being a new dad. Wes is also a new dad to a little girl called Billy. So he's now a father of 2 with Miller and also Billy. So Jade, his partner, is here on the beach, and all the kids are here as well.
Well, Trev spoke about conditions out there. It is actually blowing 17 knots at the moment. I'm looking at computers from the south. It's actually gone down to 24 degrees now, so it's dropped from 40 to 24 degrees.
We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 competitors, and there's 3 at the back. We'll lose 2. Kai Hurst is one of those on the yellow ski. Next to him in the grey is Wes Berg, and you can see the boys there. Plenty of time still to come. The swim and the board, which Kai Hurst will enjoy. But there is Wes Berg. He's a fitness trainer to the world champion, Joel Parkinson, amongst other things. The father of 2. And good to see Joshy Minogue again. He looked in trouble in that first race, but he's managed to battle his way through to only 8 competitors left now, which 2 will drop out, but Josh is now in the danger zone, the red zone, so to speak.
Well, this is the Eliminator. We have got 5 races today. We've completed 3. This is the 4th race, and that is the first leg. And these are the guys, Minogue, Berg and Hurst, that are fighting it out because the back 2 miss out, and we have a final of 6, which is a real badge of honour when you talk about a field that you've got here today, Clado, and 6 getting through to their final race.
It certainly is. You train all year, you want to be a part of it. We look at the leaders there as they come across: Shannon Eckstein, Hugh Doherty, Kendrick Louis, Ali Day, Matt Poole, Wes Berg, the last 2, Josh Minogue and Kai Hurst, as they're heading for the swim. You train so hard and you want to be rewarded, and if you're doing 5 races to go down to 6, it's quite thrilling. I remember years ago I made a group of 4 and it was a buzz. I couldn't believe it. Being in a group of 4 was like a badge of honour.
Well, there's that rip we spoke about. So to the left of the course as you go out, you'll see that disturbed water there moving around on the bank. That is a clear-cut sign of a rip, and they'll jump into that, and a rip takes water back out to sea and goes a lot quicker than you're actually swimming next to the rip. So that's what they've done.
Hayden Quinn, you're on the beach with the father of our competitors.
Yeah, I'm here with Peter Berg, Wes's old man. Bergie, Mate, Wes is looking all right there. He's had some hard luck, but he also he's a new dad. He's got 2 young kids at home. It must be tough to train when you got that all going on.
Well, mate, they yell out like drovers' dogs. You know what it's like with kids when they're young, but the same thing with Wes. He can handle it, mate. He's big and strong. He's a big boy, and he goes well. In only a couple of days, his skis letting him now.
How do you reckon he's going to go in the last round?
He better hurry up.
Good work by Hayden Quinn, like a couple of drovers' dogs at home.
The old man doesn't muck around, does he? Better hurry up.
Where Wes gets his straight talk personality. But we look at the moment, first across the line after that first leg. As we lead into a final, listen to these names: Shannon Eckstein, Hugh Doherty, Kendrick Louis, Ali Day, Matt Poole and Wes Berg are the top 6 at the moment. That would be a dream type setup final. So again, 2 will disappear.
Well, Wes Berg being in 6th spot with Kai Hurst behind him, that's the real problem. As they go around the turning can, the Red Bull turning can, and elbows start hitting, and it gets very tight there, Clado, as you know, where you start getting a little foot in the face and those sort of things. It's tight racing.
Any rules there? Any etiquette, Clado?
There is and there isn't. I mean, first 2 races, there's a bit of etiquette, move away so that everyone gets to swim free. By the time you get to the 2nd, the 3rd race, the crunch time, there's no rules, mate. You're out there to get on get out of that red zone, and you want to beat everyone. So
you're not
you
allowed
can
to
swim
punch
over
someone in the face or anything.
Well, at least don't get caught doing anything.
No, I mean, a little kick in the face every now and then, that happens, I must say.
What happens to yourself in that situation when you're competing and you get a whack in the goal?
You keep going. I mean, as you said earlier, we're Ironman. That comes with the job, and you just got to keep moving on.
Well, Shannon Eckstein, you can see there in the yellow jersey, really settling to a nice stroke. But here are the 3 boys really in danger. And Kai Hurst sitting in the back end of that group of 3.
He's last in the swim.
So
that is telling.
This is his big leg, and he's last in the group of 3. So hoping maybe for a wave to give him a bit of a lift. There is one more leg to go, though.
Well, they're starting and talking about waves. That's the front group now. They're coming into that bank, that lighter water there. They'll start moving into the bank. They look over their shoulders. They start trying to look to see whether there's a swell there. And all important to time it into the bank and catch a wave.
As you can see there, Kai's moving a lot further over the left as the other guys pull over a wave. I think that's Hugh Doherty, Matt Poole there, just pulling over the top of a wave. Kai's gone a little bit further south, hoping for a wave. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to work today.
Well, that's the first time we've seen Matt Poole in front today in an Eliminator. He has won an Eliminator 2 years ago. His first and only victory in a series at Bondi Beach in the Eliminator format, and he really dominated that. This will give him confidence being up the front now with only 1 race to go.
Honorary mention as well for Huey Doherty. I mean, you picked it at the start of this particular leg. You said you thought he was maybe sitting back waiting to try and get out there a little bit more. So he's now leading it with Matt Poole as we see Kai Hurst get to his feet. So it starts to become a little bit more urgent now for Kai if he wants to stay in. Wes is looking desperate as well.
Well, you know, if you're going to get past Wes Berg, you're going to have to scrap and fight and pull and push because he is a very, very determined man. So at this point, we're going to lose 2. And the way we're looking, it could be these 2. Hayden, you're on the beach. It's going to be hard work to get past Wes Berg.
It sure is. Bergie, he's just come out right next to Kai Hurst, so that is going to be one of the best wins of his life, I think. He's in front of Hursty. He's onto his favourite leg to board. He's out of that danger zone. It's now down to Kai and Joshy Minogue, so those boys are going to have to paddle.
Well, you made a good point there, Hayden, because the best leg out of these 3 is Wes on the board. So the other 2 behind him really need to pull up because Wes's board leg is superior.
And makes his own.
Makes his own boards. Wes Berg boards, yeah, Berg boards. And he's got a great board leg, so he'd be pretty confident and pretty comfortable where he's sitting in that 6th spot position with both Minogue and Hurst behind him.
The one thing, guys, I notice is this group of 4 out of front. They don't look like they've got the pedal down at all. You know, they're just ticking it over. They're getting the job done. They know the next race is the main one. Joshy Minogue just hit at the back there. He's put him back a little bit further. Kai down on his stomach. That's a sign of fatigue. First thing you do when you paddle a board out is you jump straight on the stomach.
The other one that's showing a little sign of fatigue is Kendrick Louis. He was in contact with these 4 leaders the whole way through the race so far, and in fact the last race as well. He's now dropped off that group, and he's got Wes Berg hammering him down at him.
Well, Trevor Hendy, we're talking about fatigue. We're talking about that front group. What can you see on their faces? How do they look?
Oh, it's getting pressure time, isn't it, Leachy? I'm getting nervous for them. You know, Hursty looks okay. He's a little bit sort of slow between strokes, not explosive. And Plato will talk about it, how you get stuck in a wash, and he's kind of stuck about 5 washes back from Wes Berg, not fast enough to push over it, and kind of just hanging there and still having to work pretty hard. But the front 4, as Plato said, look fantastic. And Nicole, as you mentioned, Kendrick Louis did have a look on his face like he was starting to run out of juice.
Interesting. So Shannon Eckstein's been up the front the whole way through. Shannon's, how's he sort of ticking? Same as the other races?
Oh, look, unbelievable. Shannon, Ali, Hugh Doherty, Matt Poole, all looking really, really strong. At this point in time, Shannon still looks the strongest, but Ali Day just seems to have a bit of an air of confidence about him now, and it's growing and growing. Well,
you talk about Ali Day's average speed on the board at the moment, 11.1 kilometres an hour. That is going very, very quickly because the ski paddling person who paddles at a decent pace is around that 11-kilometre mark, so that's very fast.
Wes Berg there we were talking about earlier, great ball paddler, has narrowed that gap to the front group of 4 now as Shannon tries to chase a runner down there.
Keep an eye on Hugh Doherty. I remember his first win at Coolum a couple of years ago. It was a big moment for him. He knows how to win, and it's, you said, we haven't sort of seen much of him, but he's just hidden himself in the pack, and the way things are going, he'll be there in the final.
Look at the stroke rate on Wes Berg when he hits his straps. He's really, really just covering some ground. Kai Hurst there in the background as well, just slightly to the right of screen. Just out of shot at the moment, but he's equal with Kendrick Louis now.
Well, at
Look
the
at
moment,
Berg go.
This is race 4. We've done the ski leg, we've done a run, we've done the swim, a run, and this is the ball leg. This is the last leg of race 4, and the top 6 competitors will make it through the all-important last race to see who's going to win today. The boys are coming into the wave area now, and it's crunch time.
Joshy Minogue needs to pull something. He needs away from somewhere, but he's at the back. The boys at the front, they can now just cruise it, suck in the breath, get the heart rate down, Clado.
Yeah, that's the biggest part of it. You get a little runner. Here goes Kai now trying to pull over one, but it's unfortunately going to be a little bit too late. There's 3 on the first wave with Shannon Eckstein, Hugh Doherty and Ali Day going for the win there.
He knows. He's seen.
He's seen it out the back. Yeah. We've got the next wave with Kendrick, Wes and Pooley. So
Ali charging up the beach. He wants the win. He wants to choose what they're going to start the last race with. You saw Ali Day sneaking up. As you see, Kai Hurst, he's battled his heart out all day. But as I said, Ali Day, he wanted the win to say, boys, I'm still ready to go, and I will choose which leg we're going to start with. Shannon Eckstein across. And that man, Hugh Doherty, he's the real sleeper in this pack. Kai Hurst, though, he'll be out of action.
Well, not exactly what he wanted, but it still has been a very good effort by Kai Hurst. We've talked about him not being quite in the nick that he has been in the past. There's Wes Berg, gets across the line in front of Matt Poole, and here comes King Kai Hurst. So his son got to see him race. Not sure he'll remember it in time. He's only a few weeks old.
He'll be back, though, Kai.
Yeah, he will.
Don't doubt it. He just needs a bit more work. He'll come back.
As we see, Josh Minogue and Kai Hurst will be eliminated to leave us with a final of 6. And one of those men, Wes Berg, what a leg on the board, Hayden Quinn.
What a leg on the board, and what a leg in the swim, coming out in front of Kai Hurst.
Oh, mate, look, going to Perth a bit tough. You know, been Hawaii Parker, but come home and my wife's been amazing. She's helped me out so much with all my training and just getting myself sorted. So I'm staying with today, and it's amazing. I come out in front of Kai. I think I must have cut a can or something.
I spoke to the old man, and I asked him what you needed to do. He said you needed to go quicker. It must be good to have all your family here, especially with the young kids and all that training.
For sure, you know, like, it's amazing to have your family here, but even the Newcastle support's incredible. Like, everyone comes down here, puts on a really good show, and everyone turns up. And like today's scorching heat, you know, I'd be at home in my aircon. So it's a tribute to everyone, but yeah, it's amazing down here.
Good work, mate.
Cheers, thanks. Cheers, Wes.
You won't meet a nicer fella than Wes Berg. We can have a look at the results. What a day in Newey, and this will be your final. 6 men: Ali Day, Shannon Eckstein, Hugh Doherty, Kendrick Louis, Wes Berg, Matt Poole. They are the Dream 6. Goodbye and well played to Kai Hurst and Josh Minogue. But you've got your top 6. After the final, the boys will go head-to-head in the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman Series, round 2 from Newcastle.